Hello everyone, this is Herd85. Thank you for joining me. This is my new mod I've created for pro wrestling. So it's going to be beginning in June, but for the sake of this video, it's got today's date. I'm just basically going to be running through a lot of the changes I've made to my previous mods and giving everybody a bit of a tutorial of how to play for any new players that want to give it a go. So let us begin. So we'll start off with all the promotions on the game, and I'll run through some of them for you. So we've got AEW, All Elite Wrestling. As you can see, we've got the face heel divide, and they're going to be a double branded with AEW and Ring of Honor. So we'll have a little scroll so you can have a little look, see at the roster. So hopefully it is as up to date as possible. The card positions are auto assigned, so if someone is either higher or lower than you thought, it will be because of their overness. But AEW's got such a massive roster, it's never going to be perfect. So as you can see, we've only got as far as the mid-carders, lower mids, and I'll have a bit of a bigger scroll, and then you'll get a lot of the enhancement talent here. So that's a quick run through AEW. Obviously, one of the main things I'm hoping you guys have noticed is the difference in the pictures. That's something I've been working on. And face heel divide on like backroom staff doesn't really make a difference, but I've done it deliberately so it sort of just looks nice when you scroll down these sort of things. Otherwise everybody's going to be heavily on the left hand side, so it doesn't really reflect, especially on referees. Obviously tag teams you got here, the title belts. So with everything, the new mod will come with a new picture pack that I have created. Hopefully all the belts are up to date. Obviously some of these with the writing on is just the best I could do. And then you've got obviously the events with the new show there, and they'll be branded, so Ring of Honor should only just have the Ring of Honor talent appear. And then I've added in some network deals this time round, so that's new for my mods. So that was a quick run through All Elite Wrestling. We've got Deadlock Pro. So again, I'll give you a quick skim through so you can see some of the indie talent. This roster, as well as quite a lot of the indie rosters, were made up based on their recent events, their recent shows, and so it might not reflect, it might not be perfect, but I'm hoping it's at least close enough. So if you wanted to play as this particular company, you've obviously got Game Changer Wrestling. So again, another company that has a biggish roster. This is the Hardcore Federation. Keep scrolling down a little bit. They've got a few random tournaments. I've noticed the AI isn't a big fan of tournaments on this game, so that must be a work in progress still, but all the belts should hopefully be in. And you know, they've got Fight TV as their network deal. Fight TV is separated into different regions. Impact, one of the popular ones. So you can just see Trinity's on the roster, Nick Aldis, One thing to note is I've not added injuries into the game yet, so be warned of this. So hopefully the roster is as up to date as possible. It's got Santina Morella there, the road agents, referees, announcers, tag teams, all the belts, current belts. And they will have their relationships is obviously people that are together or don't like each other. Impact Wrestling, all their multiverse, their network deals. ICW, so we'll start at the bottom and go upwards this time. Some of these companies like ICW, I'm not 100% certain on the roster and the stats when the people aren't in the game, so it might not reflect, but feel free to obviously give feedback, because I will be posting this on Be The Booker. So I've got tried to get most of their events in, at least the well-known ones. Lucha Libre, so AAA, one of the harder ones for me personally to do. It's not always easy to translate Spanish. Try to get the top belts in, obviously the roster. So this is the only Mexican company on the game for now. MLW. So as you can see here, if I can't find a good picture for someone, it will be set as vacant. So Major League Wrestling this is. We have all their titles. They've got some nice looking belts in this company. Try to get the main events, main shows, and obviously network deals. The NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. There's obviously an error there because that's clearly not an NWA show, and nor is this one, so I have some tweaking to do. As I said, it's all a demo run. We've got their network deals, storylines obviously don't appear, title belts. Tyrus, of course, is the champ. Overness is obviously auto push, so Overness will reflect the roster, even if you feel like it's undeserved of who's where. Got Mike Nux there. So this is your NWA. New Japan, obviously one of the more popular ones. Plenty of referees, announcers. So I'm torn with what to do with New Japan Pro Wrestling. At the moment, I've just set it to one brand. Probably down the line, I'll add in New Japan Strong's brand, because obviously they're ever growing. But for now, you'll see the New Japan Strong roster on the same show. So obviously Willow Nightingale, for argument's sake. New Japan have also now got a women's division, so which is good and bad. It just means they'll be on a bit of a hiring spree. Kenny's here because he holds a New Japan title, and so if you wanted to pick him up, there's a good chance you can do. All the titles, quite a lot. And events are a bit harder to do for. As you can see, there'll be quite a lot for New Japan, which is probably why I've had a couple of typo errors and put them in the wrong company. So we've got One Pro Wrestling, a UK company. They've got a few new title belts looking good. Will Ospreay's on the roster here. So again, this is all based on their current shows. Progress Wrestling the same. We've got tag teams added, Progress belts. Events, quite easy for them. Network Deals is on their demand. Seedling, which is a Japanese company I've managed to squeeze onto the update. This is only a small company, so as you can see, quite a small roster. WWE Recruit. Right, now this is the current developmental for the new game, because I'm going to have WWE, it's got Raw, it's got SmackDown, and it's got NXT. It's 3 brands. So people that haven't necessarily appeared on the main NXT show will be here. Yeah, some might have appeared on Level Up, some might have had cameos as like on-screen personalities or bodyguards or something, or security. But this is where you'll be able to call people up if you play as the WWE, or even if you want all the coaches. So this is where you got Matt Bloom, Finlay, you got Regal, Tyler Breeze, because he does work as a coach, Jeremy Borash, and John Cohn, who've not seen in a while. He still works for the company. The German company WXW. So I tried to get a promotion for most continents, just to give me something to start with. Not all the belts might be the modern belt, but it will be the best quality picture I could pick up. And they're on their own little network. Quite a lot of random events for these guys. World Series Wrestling, this is an Australian company. On Fight TV. Hard to get a good quality of their picture. They just rebranded all their belts. See Matt Cardona, the king of the indie man. He's on the roster. So it could be fun to play as these guys. Stardom's on here. Again, another popular company. It might not be perfect with the heel face split, but because some companies don't even have a heel split face divide, but just try and even it out a bit so it sort of looks nice. Tried to have all the tag teams, so the trios titles here. Their events. Again, it won't be perfect, but it's what I've read through their event history and their network deals, obviously on Stardom World. If any network deals I'm missing, you know, feel free to let me know. And of course, this is who we're going to be doing a demo through today, is WWE. So I'll quickly run through the starting positions of where everybody is and their divide. So this is as close as the latest draft, and hopefully is up to date on the face heel divide. Obviously Randy Orton, for argument's sake, in real life he's out of action, but you'll be able to use him in the game for now until I start adding in all the injuries. WWE, of course, have got a massive roster, so the auto push function is why people are in so arguments say you could say Bobby should be in the main event. His overness is probably reflected on the main event scene, but he might not be there just because. But it shouldn't take you long to build him back up quickly. So we've got LWO. So there's your first NXT guy, Bron Breakker. And then the randoms that don't have a brand. So there's a few until they're officially confirmed. As we get lower down the card, you can start seeing a lot of the NXT lot appearing. So as people start getting pushed, so Uncle Howdy is in the game now. For now, he's set as a certain wrestler that is rumoured to be, but obviously I would change that if he ever gets revealed or if he ever just disappears, I guess. Man, so as you can see, massive task being WWE. It would be fun for me to give it a go, because I'm going to be starting to record again soon, and I probably will play as the WWE. So people that technically are still on the books, got plenty of backstage staff on the main roster, the announcers, referees, obviously all the tag there's a lot to look through here on tag combos, the titles. Have a quick scroll down for you. Obviously I'm waiting for the new World Heavyweight Champion to be crowned, tag champions as well, and of course the pay-per-view, so we'll go from back to the top. But this is as up to date as possible. Obviously as the year goes on, I shall update based on what's announced. And network deals, of course, there's a lot. I mean, especially we got WWE Network, Peacock, Raw Zones, SmackDowns. So yeah, a good mix of promotions, and yeah, that's the first part of this demonstration. Okay, up next we are going to have a look at roster related stuff. So you can do a quick filter here. So it's obviously sort A alphabetical order. You can quick filter if there's anyone in particular you want to look at. So if we've got anyone on PPA deals, which is just Bad Bunny, meaning we can either decide to renegotiate. So if you want to tie him down, this is how you do it. Monthly, pay by appearance. He doesn't want to work house shows. He wants travel, and then you can pick a new gimmick. I believe when you renegotiate, they keep the gimmick they've got. So this is his current deal. It's always good to check it. He's on PPA deal. He's set as a face. He's down as being cool, and he's an upper mid-carder. So let's put 3 years. Let's put none and see what happens. So he accepted the offer. That's a good start. So now when we go down to Bad Bunny, yeah, he kept the same gimmick. He kept cool. So we're going to run down how you can basically tweak your roster. So let's sort it by card position. So just in case you wanted to see, obviously Bray's a main eventer, but just because he's a main eventer doesn't mean he's the biggest main eventer. As you can see, he's only 76, when someone like Cody Rhodes is 81. Sami Zayn's 82. So Roman's obviously very high, and he's got good title history here. So let's go all the way to the bottom. Well, not. So we got an NXT guy here. So if you ever wanted to know how to release someone, you just click release worker here, and then you just pay the compensation. If you think actually I want to keep him, send him to developmental, you can pick where to send him. You click send to child promotion, and away he went. So again, it always goes back to what it was at. So this guy here, let's go for Hank the Tank Walker. And just say you. Let's go to someone big that I know I've got more than one picture for. So let's pick Trish Stratus. Just say you didn't want that picture. You just click on the picture, type a name in, and there's some of them have got more than one picture. They might not be as clear as crisp, but just in case you wanted to change up her picture. If you want to change her name, her gimmick name, you just click on the name. If you want to change her gimmick, you just click on change character. This is where you can turn her face or heel. So she's currently a heel with that gimmick. You can go, right, I want it to be a face, and I'm gonna make her like a really, because there's so many gimmicks to pick from, I'm just gonna remember off the top of my head, wholesome face, a nice simple one. You submit the plans, and then when you get onto your next show, this will happen. So we'll run through it when I book a show. So I just need to remember that Trish Stratus is going to turn face, and that is pretty basic guide on the roster, how to tweak a picture, how to change someone's name. So if you didn't want it to be called Gunter and you wanted him to be Walter again, that would be how you do it. There you go, he's now Walter. If you want him to have a manager, for argument's sake, you go down to manager, click, and I don't know, let's go for Giovanni Vinci, set manager, and there you go, he's got Vinci. If you didn't want him to be the manager, you can either change it to someone else or just put none. So as you can see, he's the Intercontinental Champion, and it's got a bit of a rough explanation of what they can do, what they're good at, and that is a quick brief look on the roster. Let's go down to announcing. So your default announcers, and then you've got your branded announcers. So as you can see, NXT, SmackDown, Raw. Default will be, if you ever make a new show, that will just be automatically assigned. Say for argument's sake you think Raw, I'm not a fan, or you want to add someone. Obviously WWE's roster is massive, so you'd have to filter through. But if you wanted, say, Braun Breaker, it does say how their commentating is. So I would advise you to look for your commentators first, so you can see their commentator, but they should match up with the entertainment. So if you're not happy with Kevin Patrick and you wanted to replace him, you can just put none and he would go. Type it out, or it's at the top. Or if you didn't want Byron Saxton, and you wanted Michael Cole, I guess, you just go down to where Michael Cole is, click on him, and then click update, and that would change the Raw announce team. Obviously Pat McAfee. So that's your announcers. Up next is development. So we sent down Dabby Kato down here, and there he is. If we wanted to call someone up, so let's go Eric Young. You just literally click recall from developmental, confirm, and he will now be on the main roster. So here is Eric Young. Hasn't got a brand yet, so that's quite nice and easy. For development, medical, now this is automatically assigned. So I personally would change the 3-strike policy to manual when you play, and I'm going to do full scale and apply, and just so we can see what comes out, I'm going to highlight soft. So for this, it tells you how much it is a month based on your workers. So this costs us £500,000 a month to do. As you can see, no workers are out of action because I haven't set any injuries. Be aware of that one. But this is where they would appear if someone got injured. And that's medical. Promises, they come up during the game. You might get asked by someone, can you hire my mate? Or you might get asked for a push change. So if someone asks for a push change, say we won't go AJ, Cora Jade there, she's a mid-carder. She might go, I want to be upper mid-carder. You click change push and you can make her an upper mid-carder. Morale, worker morale. It's a good one to click on because this is where the backstage rules are set. And you got obviously a lot of green. There's a few reds in there. This is obviously more modern day. We've got 100% here. So set backstage rules. At the moment, these are all very generic, but I personally would probably do high catering, all expenses paid and save, and then look both green, green, green. So that was the worker morale side. Alright, let's go to the next section, the creative section. So we've got brands, as you know. We'll put Eric Young on NXT because I like having everyone on the brand. John Cena can be Raw. I guess Lesnar can be SmackDown. This is what I mean. This is what the draft's done to this game. Raw, SmackDown, SmackDown. So literally, I'm just clicking on the picture and I'm picking a show. Bit of a pain to do at the start of the day, the start of the game. It can be NXT, I guess. Personally, I probably wouldn't assign these personalities. It is easier. Yes, put Triple H in NXT. So when we were going about announcers earlier, obviously you got Jerry Lawler. So slow and steady, we're getting there. MVP can be on Raw. I'm literally randomizing this because if you auto assign, I believe it auto assigns the entire roster. And Scott Stanford can be SmackDown. So we got it says main event. I'm going to show you something here. Let's go, because he got called up from the recruit and he was a main event in recruit. It's put him as a main eventer. So we're going to go edit database, helpful scripts, and then do auto assign push, and then just click run and it's done. So go back, we go back again. There's our little news because he did get called up, Eric Young. And then if we go back to brands, he's still a main eventer. I'm not sure why. I was expecting something different. Maybe it's because he's on NXT, but he's not really a main eventer. But that would be how I auto pushed. I'm going to manually change it here, I guess, to mid card. He might get a bit upset about it. So here is NXT. Looks a bit better this way. Now everyone's on a brand. We've got Raw. They need more heels on Raw. So just quickly running through it so you can all see. And then SmackDown. Should you want to edit or add or even take away a brand, you can do create brand is obviously adding a brand. Maybe you want ECW. You can edit a brand by simply modify brand, so you can change the name of it if you really want. You can delete it, and if you really wanted to auto assign everyone, it would literally change the whole field. I guess I could do it. We'll reassign everyone to a brand. So this is another way of doing a brand split, just auto in it. So if we did that now, NXT now has AJ Styles. Wow, that's like a total reshuffle. So that's a crazy way to do things, but that's how you do brands. Storylines. So if you ever get that sort of headache of who to feud with who, I normally start at the top, right main event, heel, and then it will come up with all your main eventers that are heels, so like Roman Reigns. And if we put main event face, we could put him against, say, Cody Rhodes. You can call it whatever you want. And then create. So say I wanted to add someone to this story, you just click edit, and you could click add worker, and you either type their name in or look Solo Sequoia, add worker, save changes, and there you go, Solo's there. So obviously there's no limit, you can make more than one story. Tells you it hasn't started yet, and to use angles and matches with these workers to advance the storyline. So we obviously got some stables, hopefully up to date. As possible. We've also got tag teams. Obviously if you wanted to create a stable or add to it, so Schism for argument's sake, click on the stable and click on who you want to add and apply, and there you go. If you thought actually that doesn't look right, just click on their name and remove them. If you want to create a new stable, just click create stable and then boff, build your stable there. Changing the leader, as simple as highlighting the leader and changing it. Tag teams. If you don't want a tag team to be active anymore, click on them and then click inactive tag team and update. If you want to give them a name, and then you just click update. Now it's only moved them from the top because I've renamed them, but there you go, there they are. If you think, oh, I don't want this team anymore, inactive them, update, and they're gone. So inactive teams are at the top here, so you can reactivate teams. So if you want AJ and Omos back on the roster as a tag team, and there they are. So inactive teams, I've tried to get as many in as possible. So if you have a favourite that's no longer in there, hopefully in the inactive team part, they're there. The dyad will need to be updated, and the Good Brothers here. So like I said, this is still in the early days of fixing up, so even mistakes are still showing. Hence why it'd be good if everybody can give me some feedback if I've missed someone out. Obviously if you wanted Roman Reigns and Seth back, but you don't want it to be called the Shield, you just delete the name and click Update Tag Team. And there you go, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. So there's your tag teams. Title belts. So obviously title history. So inactive will be the older looking titles, so we could get a bet. So there's quite a lot to look through on the inactive side of things. As you can see, hence why the editing took a while. If you like the look of a belt, obviously you could just click on edit title and then reinstate title, brings it back. So if you preferred the old school WWE World Championship active titles, obviously you can edit it, click on the title, WWE Inter, and then you've got a few pictures there to pick from if you just wanted to change the look without reinstating and deactivating belts. So you can rename it here, vacate it if you really want. That would obviously upset the current champion. So you've got NXT here, different looks, and for argument's sake I have got a few custom championships in there. That was a couple for the women's custom unified tag title here, another women's one here, a random undisputed championship there. So I'll try and pick a few random ones. Haven't quite got round to getting a lot more generic belts in case you make your own federation or you want your own championship belt. But that's a run through titles. We'll go for tournaments. Should you want to make, I don't know, King of the Ring, add a tournament. King of the Ring. 8-person. You can have as many as you want. I mean, it would take you a long time. Or have a short one. Set competitors. And obviously organise it how you ever want to organise it. You could have it as like Brock Lesnar, Edge. So if you pull them underneath it, make it a tag tournament. Like Finn and say Logan Paul. Set competitors and there's your tournament. Pretty sure it automatically moves them along when you wrestle them. Create the tournament when you're happy. There it is, King of the Ring. Oh no, you just click. So it's based on, you know that Logan Paul won, click on Logan Paul. You know that Edge won, click on Edge. You know that Logan Paul won, there he is in the final. End your tournament. So yeah, a little bit helpful. Win-loss record, obviously, that will be shown after the first match. Events. So if you didn't want something, so say I don't want NXT level up, I would click on it. Click inactive it, please. Update. If it has a deal, which I believe this does, we might have to delete the deal. But there you go, NXT level up, no more. These are all the inactive ones. Well, a handful anyway, that I've left. Should you want to, say, add more time to SmackDown, make it 3 hours, change the day, all you've got to do is click on the show, click update, 3 hour SmackDown. Should you just want to create a fresh one, just click create event. There should be hopefully a lot of logos for you for WWE to pick from. So yeah, I think also if you typed in NXT, there's a few random NXT ones in there. If you brought back WCW, Did I put ECW in? I did put ECW in. And then you pick weekly, monthly, annually. So yeah, quite easy to do. Importance matters for the AI really. So normal is just standard really, like your TV shows. High is what I've set most pay-per-views at. Huge is like your WrestleManias. Network deals. So we got rid of level up. But just in case, I'm going to click cancel deal on level up. Confirming it, and that's it gone. Network shows you where. So that's for WWE main event. You can click view networks. Let's filter North America, so you can filter South America there. Only show interested. You can highlight it or get rid of it. Ideally you want to highlight it because, well, there you go, they don't want to negotiate with us. That's the red. But if you highlight it, get rid of that. Click on who you want to negotiate with, and then you can either pick all pay-per-view or a main event. 2 years, yes. Pick your time. Tells you how much money you'd make for it if you press up and down. So early evening, man, that gets a lot of viewers. Over late night. Click accept, and there you go. Look, WWE main events now on in demand TV network. If you're not happy, cancel deal, and it's gone. So if you just wanted WWE, for argument's sake, to be just on the WWE network, you could cancel all these TV deals without any repercussions, I guess. So that was network deals. Finances, obviously we'll check that later. Merchandise as well, but production we're going to go to. So obviously this is where the magic happens. At the moment, cost per month, bottom left hand corner here, 4.8 mil. Cost per show, 500,000. So really we want to up the music. That put this match score up. Basically, the better your budget, the better the show is going to be, just to the eye. And that's it, simple as that. If you want to make it, you just click and you just confirm it. So when you're a big company, WWE, AEW, probably New Japan, it shouldn't really hit your finances that much because we've got a lot of money here. There you go, look. We've ended our broadcasting. Let's do a hiring. So I was not happy with my announce team, for argument's sake. So let's bring in an announcer. Let's go down to hireable. So that will filter out anyone that's on a written contract. And we want to do it maybe by its stats, but it's hard. Maybe entertainment, because it doesn't have announcing as a, but we'll leave it for now. Apply filters, and this should filter all available announcers. And can you do it by order? I mean, you can do it by popular. Star power referee, it's like commentary. There we go. So there you go, Marinara. If I could say his name properly, we'd be laughing. So he's your #1 free agent. His commentary's night 89. Begin negotiations. You can automatically, though I recommend, if you are to hire an announcer, there is a gimmick called sportscaster. There it is. Someone who works on the announce team or backstage interviewer. 5-year deal. You'll be a good guy. And you can assign people, this is new to the game, straight to development if you want. So that's him in the main show, that's him to developmental. Make offer, he's accepted. That's him working for us. We're going to just assign someone at random. So there's Kenny there. Say you wanted to sign, I don't know, let's go for Chessman. And I wanted him in my development. Let's see if he rejects it. He's accepted it. Handy. So go back to the office. It's announcing. This is me just pressing M. There he is. Skill 89. Straight away buffs up my announce team. If I wanted him on, I'd say NXT. It could be, that's how you set your announcer. Let's go to development. The guy we signed. There he is. Just click recall. So you can straight away hire someone straight for developmental. So up next we shall be booking a show. So WWE main event, I'll do that first. So main event is only a 30-minute show. You can pick the location. It's telling us that we could potentially be getting 23,000 people. I mean, it's up to you if you want to go searching for an exact 23,000. But sometimes, you know, the generic, if you forget, it's gonna automatically set you the huge arena in this case, which is 20,000 capacity. So if you want to filter, you can have no assigned Raw, SmackDown. You can even have your child promotions talent. So if you did Raw only for argument's sake, then auto booked it, in theory it should pick your current Raw roster. It's put one match on for us, which doesn't fulfill the show, thanks for that. But I can just show how to add the match, it's easy enough. Let's make it a women's division match, so we'll put female. Sort by push, please. So Bianca Belair, who's, because of the auto draft we did, is now on NXT. We'll give it a 10-minute match. You can pick whatever referee you want, or it will just auto assign one. You can even add an extra announcer to this if you really wanted. Gimmick, we can make this, let's go for a cage match. And as Bianca Belair is currently the Raw Women's Champion, we could put that title on the line. You can either auto assign or give Bianca Belair the win. You can click how, clean, cheating, count out, DQ, BS. The purpose of this match, for me, make the champ look good. You can have extra agent notes. Chaotic's quite good if the worker's not very skillful in the ring, but has very good entertainment skills and is popular. You can have over the top entrances. You can have tell Chelsea can interfere. We can have a spot. Now, as you can see right now, there's nothing there for a spot, but if I click on it, it opens up another category here. So we can have click on the person, all of them, but we're going to have Chelsea Green has a safety stunt team. But obviously you can see there's more extreme, they cost more money, and there's also more chance of injuries. Some might reject it. Save the match. Then we've got enough booked there to do the show. So this one put Chase U versus the New Day. It didn't auto book the way I wanted it to. So that shows that you have to, if you did auto book, it does just take your whole roster. But yeah, New Day carried that match. New Day benefited from it. So even though it's a B show, it gave them a little bit of a popularity boost, crowd reaction, match quality, and then the final combined score. The women's championship match here got good crowd reaction, okay match quality, overall max score. As you can see, if I leave it hovering, the production helped to give a better score. Major spot, put it on a different level. The crowd loved that spot. Bianca retained a belt. She looked like a real threat, so that was making me say that was the bit where I put make Bianca Belair look good. Sonya Deville didn't lose any overness, so that's always good. And as it's a B show, you know, there's a reason for that. No popularity change. So the B show is more for you slowly pushing someone. So we are now on Raw. Quick, so it might be a pain to do this every time, but you click on the WWE up here and then click Raw. And it will have whatever your version of the Raw roster is. Again, I believe if I click the auto book, it will just throw everybody on the card. But we could potentially edit something. I'll show you how to do an angle. So you can delete whatever you want, but you can only do it one at a time. Add an angle. We had a feud going. Unless they've put it on for us, they haven't. We had a quick view. In case you don't know your story, it's with Cody Rhodes from Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. So let's add an angle. Add story. We want a brawl. Type in Roman. Put him in it. He comes automatically with his manager. Put Cody. We can give him a 15-minute brawl. And obviously how violent you want it is up to you. Medium. Save. You can add additional stuff to the same segment if you really wanted. So if you really wanted, you could go, let's do their entrance first. Let's then do an interview. Do a promo, entrance, promo, then a brawl. Or sometimes it's easy just to do the one. You can write whatever you want in the box. But it would just come up with the generic Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes brawl. But you could write call out. If you can spell better than me. And brawl. And then if you save, it will have it there as call out and brawl. Start the show. So I'm not really going to read through it, we're just going to skim through it. So I have been proven wrong, as you can, so far at least. Anyway, I did auto push it, so it did put Raw this time with actually just the Raw people for our random roster draft. So that's pretty good to know. So I learn as I play myself. So coming up is, so this is the angle we made. Obviously they're not on the right brand because I put it together, but as you can see it got a 100%. Probably because of Roman's overness, Cody's overness. Both of them got a big little bump in overness for popularity just for that. And the auto booker gave us Ciampa versus Lesnar in the main event, and that got a very good score. Big overness changes over here. Nothing for Asia, nothing for Africa. Probably not shown in those countries, or wasn't good enough. So we got a little bit of news. So he wants a push request. This is what I mean. This is when you get your promises. You can say yeah. Tells you how much money we made for. So both will be the same because it's on the same day. That push promise request will show up in your news feed. So scrolling down to see his picture. There he is. So I have 92 days to give him a push. Auto pushes won't accept it. You have to push it. So as you can see, New Japan over here are on a bit of a hiring spree for their women's division. and we'll be able to see finance a bit more now. So that was one show, gave us 252,879. Most of the money was lost in the production, travel, but you can obviously keep tabs on that over time. Considering you got 500 million, I think you'd be okay. And there's a lot of random hirings in your news feed. AEW had their show. Look at that one, there you go. My YouTube signed a developmental deal, a broadcast deal with your developmental, which is quite nice. So if you, these are showing you that my recruit also decided to hire someone. So developmental will hire people. Eurosport broadcasting deals here, and then if I click next, we'd have NXT. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mini little tutorial, a little look at the mod that's coming out soon. The initial date is going to be released on the 1st of June, with probably updates every couple of months. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Please leave me any feedback, any questions, and as always, take care everyone.